Hello everybody. Welcome back for another video. Hope you're all doing well and that you're all having an incredible day. And without any further ado, let's jump right into it. Of course, as always, there's a lot going on, so we have a lot to cover. I don't know how to pronounce this. Itaú, I-T-A-U. I'm going to say Itaú Unibanco. Brazil's largest bank has launched a cryptocurrency trading service for its investment platform clients, marking its entry into the digital asset market. As you may have noticed, may have seen, over the course of the last couple of years, banks have been circling around the cryptocurrency space for a very long time. The first indications that we began to receive were once again apparently around the year 2014. Almost an entire decade ago, banks were already interested in crypto. Around 2 years ago, we heard that there were a number of banks within Europe and the United States who were actively looking to get into the cryptocurrency space. Over the course of the last year, we've had about, I want to say, more than a dozen, if not 24 banks around the world who have actively shown interest in wanting to get into the cryptocurrency space as well. And then you have the entire discussion just surrounding around Brazil, who since the beginning of this year has kind of like taken the forefront of everything. We heard that there are 2 cities in Brazil who have, I think they're, what is it? They're using their city's funds, or like the allocated funds that are for the city to actually buy Bitcoin. A couple of their mayors love Bitcoin. There's a lot of mining initiatives happening in Brazil as well. I think their stock exchange, their stock exchange also has cryptocurrency trading, and there's some, I don't remember, there's like 95 things with Brazil. They're like the Hong Kong of the cryptocurrency space. They kind of came out of nowhere. They've been dominating, and apparently there's a huge amount of interest for crypto within that country. The service will initially support trading of, you guessed it, Bitcoin and Ether. However, the bank plans to expand their offering in the future. According to Guto Antunes, the head of digital assets at Itaú, he said, "It starts with Bitcoin, but our overarching strategic plan is to expand to other crypto assets in the future." It usually always, nearly 99% of the time, is always Bitcoin and Ether. And up until now, I mean, to be fair, we're not in 2024. We're not in the crazy 2025 moments. But up until now, not many other places have usually announced what other coins they're also going to be supporting. It typically is always just Bitcoin and Ether. But like I said, maybe that'll change next year as we end up getting more news about interest and expansions. He added that any expansion would depend on the evolution of crypto regulation within the country. Itaú aims to compete with local entities such as crypto exchange MB, and investment bank BTG, Pactual's digital assets unit Mint, as well as international giants such as Binance. One distinctive feature that Itaú aims to leverage is its role as a custodian, providing an added layer of security for users' assets. Antunes highlighted this aspect, stating Itaú will stand out from rivals as it also acts as a custodian, safeguarding users' assets, which is literally the thing that I just read that was up there. Cool. Yes. Brazil's biggest bank is getting into cryptocurrencies. It is, how do I level this out? I wish that we lived in a world where more normal people already had tons of Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies to be able to benefit from this. However, I understand that it is still monumental that banks and institutions are getting into the cryptocurrency space at all, which is going to cause prices to rise a lot higher. I just wish that normal people had been able and had more time or more education, I don't know, to be able to want to get into the cryptocurrency space, to be able to benefit as prices continue to rise and banks and institutions are buying up all the cryptocurrencies. I think I said that correctly. It's cool that banks are in it, but they're also going to buy up all the crypto that's for normal people. But at the same exact time, they will further the market and strengthen it. You know what I'm talking about. That's the biggest bank in Brazil, Itaú, Itaú, is getting into cryptocurrencies, mainly Bitcoin and Ethereum. And yeah, let's move on. Also in the news, according to data from Ultrasound Money, the Ethereum network has apparently destroyed a total of, geez Louise, 105,248 Ether, while issuing 70,655 Ether within the past month. This has resulted in a net decrease of 34,579 Ether being burned. Yeah, over the last couple of weeks and months. For some reason, this is like mega crazy news all over again. We also had this a couple of days ago as well. The amount of Ethereum is officially deflationary once again, but it's like massive amounts of the coin. The idea being that the more Ethereum the network gets used, the more Ether that will get burned. The more Ether that gets burned, the higher the price goes. The higher the price goes, the more network usage. The more network usage, the higher the burn rate. So it kind of continues tumbling completely out of control. I wonder if we will get to a point where like a good 20-30 million Ether will be burned over the course of a year. If you're talking about 100,000 Ether being burned, and let's be realistic, when prices are still low and not at their previous all-time high and haven't even doubled yet, I do wonder exactly how crazy that a lot of this is actually going to get for Ethereum. The reduction in supply could potentially impact the price of Ether, as a lower supply often leads to increased demand and higher prices. Yeah, just something that's been constantly thrown out there. A lot of people we're getting a lot of news now about the amount of crypto being purchased on exchanges, the amount of crypto being taken off of exchanges, which is also a very strong metric as far as like if people are buying, but crypto keeps getting taken off and there's only essentially a finite amount of many of these coins, usually focusing on Bitcoin and Ether in a lot of these conversations. Well, of course, the price is going to continue to rise. Also, the coins that are deflationary, the week and a half that Ethereum was inflationary and everyone was pretending like something completely crazy was going on while coin prices were dropping quite dramatically at the exact same time as well. Yeah, very interesting time as always to be in the market. I'm very interested to see exactly how big the burn will be over the course of the next year, especially when it comes to prices and how many people are going to be actively engaging with the network. Yeah, 105,248 Ether were burned just in the last 30 days. Yeah, kind of crazy. Let's move on. Also sure, why not? In a recent Ask Me Anything session, Binance's new CEO, Richard Teng, provided insights into his vision, addressing user concerns, and outlined the company's future trajectory. Meanwhile, Teng expressed gratitude for user support and discussed Binance's commitment to users, security, and global compliance standards. So I assume we're going to be hearing about this guy a lot or hearing him talking over the course of the next couple of months or years. He is the new CEO for Binance, and I think what he's basically trying to do now is a lot of damage control, as one would expect. I don't assume he's going to be going on stage talking about excuse my French, but F regulators and we're going to be making sure that we do whatever we want. Of course, they're going to try and fall in line and be as regulatorily compliant and make sure that everyone knows that their money is safe and all these other things. Binance has relatively gone unscathed from a lot of the stuff that's been going on. The transition from Changpeng Zhao to Richard Teng was nearly seamless. It took a day for that to happen. The $4.3 billion that Binance has to pay back. Apparently they have already all in cash. Like there's no like problems for them to be able to pay any of that back. They didn't, I think there was one day where I saw news that they were actively losing a lot of users and stuff like that. But people are very fickle. They're very fragile, and they get scared incredibly easily over news that Changpeng Zhao got while he was in the United States. So I don't exactly understand what would make people think that their money was in trouble, because it just doesn't, whatever, the way that the mind actually ends up working. He basically talked about challenges, user security, plans for global expansion, strategic partnerships, and other things like that. And it's cool. It's amazing. It's awesome. This is more of a, like, I guess, an introduction to him. I doubt that he's going to be as, like, socially vocal as Changpeng Zhao was. Changpeng Zhao was always on Twitter, talking with everyone, discussing things. He was kind of like almost like buddy in a lot of different ways, and I don't think that this guy is going to be the same. I just have a very strange feeling he'll probably have a more like hyper background role in a lot of the things that have been going on. But yeah, so Binance has a brand new CEO. His name is Richard Tang. He basically was telling everyone in an Ask Me Anything that he plans on being good and following regulations and getting paperwork done and making sure that users' funds are safe. Because, I mean, realistically, like, you can't say the opposite. You can't be there and be like, I'm the new CEO. What? I have to do what with who? I was going to use that on a boat. Like, you can't, you gotta. Anyway, cool. I hope he does well. I don't know, question mark. Like, a lot of times, like, it feels weird, like, wishing people well who I know are extremely wealthy, who are going to do well. If you catch my drift. Like, I can't be like, well, I hope he makes money. I'm pretty sure he's already a billionaire. Binance is already doing extremely well. Will do weller. Is weller a word? More well over the course of the bull market. So, good fortune unto thee, kind sir. That was a weird sentence. And yeah, let's move on. Also in the news, Coinbase is, of course, in the news. According to Coinbase's CEO, Brian Armstrong, and this was very good news, the crypto exchange does not currently have plans to create a token for their layer 2 solution that they are calling Base. Armstrong, during an exclusive interview with Coinotag, stated, "We are not planning to make any token for Base." That's kind of exactly what we just read. A lot of the news earlier this year, for those of you who missed it, was that Coinbase made their own layer 2 solution. They did the exact same. It's such biters. I hate it so much. Coinbase did the exact same thing that Binance did, where they basically created their own blockchain, and Coinbase basically hasn't shut up about it since this thing ended up launching. They claim to be like another layer 2 solution for Ethereum to help transactions, and how many people they're going to help, and we can do this and hold hands together as a community and be awesome and all that other stuff. One of the original things was that they were talking about actually creating a coin for it, and I distinctly remember saying and being like, we don't need it. Nobody wants it. The idea of a chain is already like you're getting fees from things happening on the chain. The idea of having your own coin is like, we don't need another coin in the market. People don't need a Coinbase coin. We already have the Circle stable coin. We don't need some other coin whose price might potentially fluctuate, and we can only use it on Coinbase and can't take it off. And if they do, they'll be tracking our transactions. It just seems completely nonsensical. And I assume also a regulatory nightmare, especially with everything that's been going on. This statement seems to contradict the earlier statement by Coinbase Chief Legal Officer Paul Grewal, Grewal, who, in a statement in September, said, "I think a token could be appropriate at some point in the future. We're not ruling that out entirely because you're figuring out extra ways to make money. We don't need any more coins. We literally don't. We have like, what is it, over 10,000 coins in the market? We don't need any more. We have more than enough. The market, is fine." A Coinbase spokesperson confirmed that there is no plan for Coinbase to launch a token for the Base network. Armstrong mentioned that they are very pleased with how Base has progressed since its launch in August. describing Base as the third largest layer 2 in terms of total value locked. Within a few months of its launch, he said, "That's really good," and added that there were approximately 1 million wallets interacting with the chain at the time of launch. Cool. Fantastic. Awesome sauce. So thank goodness Coinbase is not going to be launching another new coin that no one is going to be using. I assume they took metrics or surveys and people were like, what? Why would I need to use that? They have their own chain. I hope it works out for them. See that thing again. Like I want to, wish people well, but it's also like it's Coinbase. Like I don't assume that Coinbase is going to be doing bad at any point in the near future. Like I think they're probably only going to be doing gooder, weller in the coming years. So cool. Very popular news. Cool. That's the Coinbase isn't making another coin, and people are apparently using their layer 2 solution called Base News. All right. Okay. Let's move on. Okay. I see where they were going with it, but okay. Colombian President, his name is Gustavo Petro, has ventured into crypto. Kind of. Not really. With Bitcoin at the forefront of his newfound interest. Kind of. Not really. This unanticipated move, initiated by a gift from Samson Mao, CEO of Blockstream, has made Gustavo Petro an official Bitcoin holder. However, this has also ignited discussions about the broader implications for Colombia's future in the digital asset landscape. Let me explain. This was one of the most popular news stories that's out there. A lot of people, rather, we've seen that Latin American countries have kind of been at the forefront of like cryptocurrency acceptance and usage, and the countries who've adopted it as a legal currency, and the rumors that we had of other ones who were also going to be doing the exact same thing. This news became popular because it was like, will Colombia begin to use Bitcoin as their currency? Will Colombia also, all the questions that are kind of out there. And I was reading around, and every single article kind of had the exact same thing. They framed it as though the president went out and bought crypto himself, which he didn't. He was gifted it. So his venture into crypto and being at the forefront of his newfound interest is like, no, someone gave it to him as a gift and he can't just throw it away because it's a gift. It was also done by the CEO of Blockstream. So, you got to show some kind of respect. It all began, there we go, when the CEO of Blockstream presented the president with, and this article makes me want to vomit. It says presented him with a substantial gift. It says 100,000 Satoshis. So 1 million Satoshis is 0.01 Bitcoin. That is, let's see, 400, wait. No. 44,400. That's around $45 worth of Bitcoin that he gave him. A substantial gift, it is not. If he had given this man an entire Bitcoin, which he would never do, that's kind of a lot. That's 100 million Satoshis. This unconventional entry into the world of crypto has raised eyebrows, not only due to the novelty of the gesture, but also because it signifies a notable shift in Petro's financial portfolio. He gave him $45 in Bitcoin. What shift? Nothing happened. Imagine someone giving you $45 worth of acorns. Is that a huge shift in your financial portfolio? This news was so popular, like you wouldn't believe. Speaking about the gift, Mao expressed his delight, stating, "Now the president of Colombia is officially a Bitcoin hodler with exactly 100,000 sats, and here's a photo of them." The guy looks confused. He has no idea what he's been handing. Is this a piece of gum? What did you just give me? What's on this? $45 worth of Bitcoin? Oh, that's fantastic. My glasses are worth more than that. Not that it's not a nice gesture, but it's like, this was super popular. Like, I get the symbolism for it, but why not be like, hey, can I build like, a mining rig for you or something? Or like, here's half a Bitcoin. Something. So cool. As it stands right now, there's no word, no discussion, no conversation, no rumors of Colombia in any way, shape, or form, accepting, using, dealing in, transferring over to Bitcoin or any other cryptocurrency for that matter. I get it. I get the symbolism. But it's also like, imagine going to like see the president or prime minister of your country. And you're like, hey, I got a present for you. And then you take out a box and they open the box and there's like a piece of chocolate. And they're like, oh, wow. And they flip it over and they see the price tag is like $45. It's like, wow, that's expensive chocolate. That's it? Cool. So if by next summer we hear that his 100,000 Satoshis has ignited his eye, he really wants more Bitcoin, and then Colombia becomes Bitcoin nation, then I'll do another thing on it. But the amount of news that becomes popular in this space, or the things that become popular, I mean, I'm always confused. I ask myself all the time how we got to this point where like a lot of the news just ends up being like really weird stuff like this. That's the $100,000 he gave him? $100,000, and I'm saying dollars on purpose, was given to a president. That's a lot of money. Okay. All right. Let's move on. Also in the news, I guess we're country hopping today. Brazil, Colombia, and now we're in South Africa. South Africa's principal financial regulator, the Financial Sector Conduct Authority, or the FSCA, has apparently reviewed 128 applications for people who are trying to deal in crypto within the country. But they intend to only... That's terrible. After 128 applications, they're only looking at 36. That's terrible. The numbers were published on the 30th of November by the South African news outlet My Broadband. Okay. According to the publication, the FSCA plans to review 36 licensees' presentations at the 12th of December Licensing Executive Committee meeting. A further 22 applications will be presented on the 13th of February. The last 14 applications will have to wait until the 12th of March. Does it take that long to review like 12 pieces of paperwork? Are there only 12 people working in the FSCA? You know how mad I would be if I was told to wait 3 months for someone to look at a piece of paper? You can't hire other people? The fate of all the remaining applicants wasn't specified by the authority, which explained its evaluation method as the combined assessment of know your customer, onboarding, data protection, cyber risk management, conflict of interest management, complaints handling, and credit counterparty risk management. The FSCA also published its crypto assets market study for 2023 on the same day. The study found that 60% of all traded crypto in South Africa are so-called unbacked crypto assets, which means any cryptocurrency besides stablecoins and NFTs, which are apparently 4% of the market, and some types of centrally issued tokens. Cool. So we like never get South African cryptocurrency news. I guess this is a step in the right direction. I assume if they're reviewing applications, that means they already have cryptocurrency regulations going on within their country? Question mark? Cool. I hope the companies get their licenses in about 19 and a half months. Fantastic that, I mean, I'm certain they can hire more people. There's no way that there's so few people working in those 4 letters. That's the South African cryptocurrency news. Yeah. Okie dokie. Let's move on. Also this is kind of also really weird news. So remember how like earlier this year we barely had like any Shiba Inu news, and I was like, uh-oh, I have a feeling it's going to be like coming back into the cryptocurrency market. So Shiba Inu's plan as a network is to like burn coins. There are far too many of them. And the idea is that the more that they burn, the higher the price will go. The higher the price goes, the more burn, I guess, the more network usage. We've heard before that like their burn rate was like 4,000%, or the burn rate was like 15,000%. And it's like, whoa, that's a high number. Shiba Inu's burn rate increased by an astounding 7.6 million% in the last 24 hours. Were they just like shoveling it like into like what? 7.6 million% in 24 hours, accumulating in the burning of over 8.35 billion Shiba Inu tokens from their supply in 24 hours. Meanwhile, an update from Shiba Inu's chief developer, Kal Daria, outlined the debut of Shibarium's revolutionary token burning mechanism has triggered an unprecedented increase in... Yeah, I would say so. Unprecedented is a complete understatement. 7.6 million%. Sorry for screaming. That doesn't make any sense. Can you imagine if Ethereum's burn rate rose by 7.6 million%? There'd be like 12 Ether left. That number's a little insane. Not sure if you could hear by the tone of my voice. Wonderful. So the idea, as far as I understand it from good old 2019-2020, is that apparently Shiba Inu is... people want it to get to 1 cent. That's meant to be like the goal, kind of. Keep burning coins, the price will go up, and it gets to 1 cent. It's like the... extra, no, I don't know, something of like Dogecoin, where like years ago the idea of a 1 cent Dogecoin was like, it's never going to 1 cent. It goes to 70 cents, everyone completely loses their mind, and everyone's expecting it, at least this run, to go over $1. Cool. But Shiba Inu is also there kind of right now as well, where they're really trying, really 7.6 million% in just 24 hours. I mean, if they can burn 8 billion Shiba Inu per day, they'll get to 50 cents before you know it. So, cool. That's the Shiba Inu continues to burn its way to the top, because that's what you got to do when you got a lot of coins. Who thought of having that many coins? Does anyone know? Does anyone know why this coin was created with all those coins? It seems a little... Okay. Yeah, I think that's going to do it for this video. I do hope that you've enjoyed this very weird video. I do hope you all are having a great day, morning, afternoon, evening, wherever you are, wherever you might be. I do hope it is absolutely fantastic. Thank you all once again for watching, listening, liking, commenting, and or supporting. And I will most certainly be talking to you all soon. See you.